Race day is back. That means race prepping is back. Tomorrow I will be doing the Savage Race here in Chicago, Illinois, which is 6.2 miles and 27 obstacles. What I like to do to help me prepare for a race is take all the information that's out there and basically put it into one spot. For myself, that's into a spreadsheet. This data will be sourced from the course map, which will include the mile markers, the obstacles. Also, I also like to incorporate the rule book to make sure I'm doing every single obstacle the way it was designed. What I then like to do once I have all this data in here is essentially visualize myself going through the course, going down obstacle 1, make sure I understand the rules, and kind of envisioning myself going through each of these obstacles to help me determine the most appropriate pace and the most strategical way to tackle that obstacle. I also go through every single obstacle in order to help me determine the most effective strategy to get through on the first attempt. Once I feel confident in my racing strategy, all that's left is to fuel up and keep hydrating. Well, it's officially race day, both excited and nervous at the same time. It's my first race in about 5 months. Luna's a little upset that she's not coming with me. Sorry, you can't come. We can go on a run tomorrow. Yeah. I'm sorry. But got an hour drive ahead of me, so it's time to hit the road. The audio while at the race venue was not the best through my mask, so I'm going to do a voiceover to talk about my experience with the first Savage Race of 2020 since the pandemic began. Overall, the protocols and the safety measures put in place were very well done. No spectators were allowed in the venue, and racers could not enter any sooner than 30 minutes before their assigned heat time to limit the head count in the venue area. A mask was required at all times until you were on the course racing. Important health screenings and temperature checks were taken before entering the venue, so you had to be mindful not to warm up too much in the parking lot to not risk your body temperature raising above the set threshold on the hot day that it was. Racers were then sent out onto the course in waves of 25 people every 5 minutes, and each obstacle had appropriate spacing markers to ensure a 6-foot distance was maintained in the event you had to wait for an obstacle. Then, following the completion of each obstacle, there was a hand sanitizer station to allow for athletes to disinfect their hands upon touching an obstacle. Other than those safety measures put in place, much of the race experience felt much the same. Almost all the standard Savage Race obstacles were on course, and many of my favorite grip-intensive obstacles were there, with some new ones since 2019. In terms of my overall performance, I raced in the Pro Wave and was successfully able to complete each obstacle on the first attempt for a 100% completion rate. However, my legs on the run didn't seem to have any life that morning. Not sure if it was the race nerves or the lack of a proper warm-up, but that's no excuse as every racer was under the same conditions. I finished the 6.2 mile course and 27 obstacles in 1 hour and 14 minutes, which was good enough for 44th overall in the Pro Division out of 104 racers and 7th in my age division. However, sadly, after coming off the high of being able to race again, a few days later, Spartan Race announced the cancellation of the rest of the 2020 US races. While it came as sad news, it is definitely the smart move during these times for the sport, given the larger audience these races tend to bring. But with this news, it's not the time to lose focus. Now's the time to dial it back in and be ready to come back in 2021 better than ever. So, after an amazing race day with Savage on Saturday, me and my now fiance Sarah decided to take a 3-day vacation, just kind of get away. First time really getting out of the house since this whole pandemic happened, but I was able to take a nice recovery, no working out, was nothing close to what I normally eat for my nutrition. It was a nice deload a couple of days, but now it's time to get back into training. So, starting off with a little bit of time on the air runner here. It will be start with a 10-minute warm-up jog, nice and easy, and then we'll move into 8 rounds of 20-second sprint, 10 seconds rest, and for that 8 rounds, take a 4-minute rest, 8 rounds again, 4-minute rest, and then do 8 rounds again one last time, 4 minutes rest, and then just do a 10-minute cool down, just to kind of ease back into it here.